The legend lives on from the Chippewa on down of the big lake they call Gitchagumi. The lake, it is said, never gives up her dead when the skies of November turn gloomy.
They did a pretty good job replicating this. Of course, there's a lot more bass heaviness with Home Free's version because just the way music has developed and technology has developed over the years. But I love the thin guitar, and I do like the way that Gordon is singing this with the consonants.
With a load of iron ore, 26,000
yeah, I can up the volume.
More than the Edmund Fitzgerald weighed empty. That good ship and true was a bone to be chewed when the gales of November came early. The ship was the pride of the American side, coming back from some mill in Wisconsin. As the big freighters go, it was bigger than most, with a crew and good captain well seasoned, concluding some terms with a couple of steel firms when they left fully loaded for Cleveland. Then later that night when the ship's bell rang, could it be the north wind they'd been feeling?
One thing I've noticed about the song is the lyrics, like the singing and the lyrics and the percussion match so well with each other, and it creates a groovy, swingy vibe, like dun 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 dun. It's a very ride the tide type of feel to it.
Some terms with a couple of steel firms when they left fully loaded for Cleveland. Then later that night when the ship's bell rang, could it be the north wind they'd been feeling? And the wires made a tattletale sound, and the wave broke over the railing.
Dang, Home Free really recreated such an amazing arrangement.
The wind and the wires made a tattletale sound, and the wave broke over the railing. And every man knew, as the captain did too, 'twas the witch of November come stealing. The dawn came late and the breakfast had to wait when the gales of November came slashing. When afternoon came, it was freezing rain in the face of a hurricane west wind.
There was another really good crescendo right there, build up from soft to loud, builds up into this chorus.
The dawn came late and the breakfast had to wait when the gales of November came slashing. When afternoon came, it was freezing rain in the face of a hurricane west wind.
It really drives the impact of the message. Nice guitar delay effect.
When supper time came, the old cook came on deck saying, "Fellas, it's too rough to feed you."
Aww.
At 7 p.m. a main hatchway caved in. He said, "Fellas, it's been good to know ya." The captain wired in.
So because this is more simplistic and not as a cappella advanced as Home Free, now I'm actually starting to really catch on to some of the lyrics. For those of you who are joining this video or watching this, I did a reaction to Home Free before I did the original version. Go check it out on YouTube if you haven't already. And that's just for the YouTube audience. But anyway.
Saying, "Fellas, it's too rough to feed you." At 7 p.m. a main hatchway caved in. He said, "Fellas, it's been good to know ya." The captain wired in, he had water coming in, and the good ship and crew was in peril. And later that night when his lights went out of sight, came the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald.
Wow. Wow. I like what Home Free did with the oohs to really complement the guitar part here. I like the clean guitar sound as well. It really adds something.
Does anyone know where the love of God goes when the waves turn the minutes to hours? The searchers all say they'd have made Whitefish Bay if they'd put 15 more miles behind her. They might have split up or they might have capsized. They may have broke deep and took water. And all that remains is the faces and the names of the wives and the sons and the daughters.
Wow. That is really sad. That is really sad.
They might have capsized. They may have broke deep and took water. And all that remains is the faces and the names of the wives and the sons and the daughters.
Wow. I'm glad I'm listening to this version, the original version.
Lake Huron rolls, Superior sings in the rooms of her ice water mansion. Old Michigan steams like a young man's dreams. The islands and bays are for sportsmen.
I love the way he sang that. For sportsmen. Not sportsman, sportsman.
The rooms of her ice water mansion. Old Michigan steams like a young man's dreams. The islands and bays are for sportsmen. And farther below, Lake Ontario takes in what Lake Erie can send her. The iron boats go as the mariners all know, with the gales of November remembered.
This song really gives a lot of reflection and just remembrance of everything. So I'm liking the style that Gordon decided to go or choose and execute with
Lake
this.
Ontario takes in what Lake Erie can send her. The iron boats go as the mariners all know, with the gales of November remembered.
You can just see the ship right now with the solo.
In a musty old hall in Detroit, they prayed in the Maritime Sailors' Cathedral. The church bell chimed till it rang 29 times for each man on the Edmund Fitzgerald.
Wow.
The legend lives on from the Chippewa on down of the big lake they call Gitchagumi. Superior, they said, never gives up her dead when the gales of November come early.
This is also a song that can definitely get stuck in your head if you listen to it enough. Oh, they did the same thing, fade out. This is such a touching song, and it's an important song too. Wow. Moment of silence for those that passed away. That's a touching one. Very sad song, and a lot of musical things that are just really awesome.